Hey, it's Kirk. I'm about to go for a walk here. I'm at Legion Lake in Richfield, Minnesota. It's October 13th, 2025. It's really nice weather to be outside, moving around a little bit. It's 62 above and should be in the low 60s for most of my walk. They say that Legion Lake is about 0.6 miles around, but seems longer than that once you're walking on the paved trail. It might depend on the loop you're taking and all too. Some loops have a little bit more of a steady incline to them, but for the most part it's fairly flat, and there's like a ice hockey recreation center halfway through the walk where they play a lot of games during the winter time and different activities in there. So we'll try to begin the walk here.
Yeah, but the thing is that
There's a lot more leaf cover, I noticed, since a couple months ago, like in July and August there, like a layering on the bottom. None of the leaves are decaying or anything, but they're piling up a little more. As you can see, everything's still pretty green around here. Got a pretty good canopy of tree branches and all right there. That provides a lot more shade as you're moving through. A lot of the logs they cut down here, they just leave that for animals and things to make little homes out of them. They can kind of modify them the way they need to as they eventually start to kind of deteriorate in certain spots. Sometimes they have to cut some of the logs, bigger sized branches and foliage down when there's bigger storms that have a way of uprooting the trees and making the branches sway and bend so far that eventually they snap off. You got some older trees like that one there. It's probably been there for over 100 years. I can imagine that would take a long time to get that wide of a trunk with that thick of a girth to it. Here we got some better light right there. There used to be like a floating walking bridge in the center of Legion Lake, but they took that out a couple years ago. Maybe for safety reasons, but it quickly got overgrown with cattails and other type of marshy brush. There's another really thick tree trunk there. It'd be really hard to climb to the top of that tree there. It's pretty high up. It's like a big slingshot in a way. There's the shadow as I'm walking by. See my shadow there. Should have plenty of sunlight here. I think it's about 4:15 right now. Light seems a little dimmer in the forest here because of the leaf covering. That's kind of a neat area. Probably hasn't been touched in over 100 years also. It's really overgrown. This is the way the vegetation would get real thick and clustered up further up in northern Minnesota when it's left untouched for really long periods of time. Sometimes you get situations right there where you get a dead tree and they're looking almost like they're about to fall down on some animal or somebody as they're walking by, but as you can see, that one's kind of supported by the bigger sized branches. Kind of a support tree in a way. Got some really thick vegetation there. The animals can hide out in this kind of area like this. More logs are falling down. I like that a lot of these leaves are still real green looking on October 13th. Could be because we had a lot of rain earlier in the season and the leaves got all the moisture they needed to keep their colors intact. It's another one of those big skyscraper type trees. That one goes way up there. You would need special equipment to climb to the top of that tree. Same on the other side. Kind of moving along here. Get a lot of people walking the trail here depending on the time of the day. A lot of times they'll walk with their small animals, their different sized dogs, and the dogs really enjoy being outside at Legion Lake here. They look forward to it. When their human comes home and takes them for a walk. We'll walk over here quick, show where the area was where they had that walkway bridge. That's another trail you can go down. There's about 3 or 4 trails at least. Got a lot of algae growing at the top of the water there. This is a part of the trail here where you're walking to get towards the entrance to the floating walking bridge, which they must have took down in parts, but as you can see with all the cattails here, it's hard to see where that walking bridge was. They must have had some sort of machine that took out some of the brush and cattails to keep the area clear for that walking bridge. Now we'll walk back out to the main trail. It's a real convenient area to get to also if you want to get a little exercise, burn a few calories, get out here and do some walking on the paved trail, and also the natural soil type trail here. As you can see looking out here, this is part of Legion Lake too, but mostly what you see is cattails that have grown into the marshy area. At times when there's more heavier rainfall and things get flooded over, you can see more of the water. Yeah, I paused the video there briefly so I could take my sweater off. I was starting to warm up too much in the hotter sun, as it happens after you get a certain distance down the trail here. But we'll continue on. It's pretty sunny there. It's probably creating a lot of glare as you're looking out. This side here it's not as bad because the sun is more at a person's back. Hey.